Hello everyone and welcome to Our Quiz. Today, on World War II, we prepared a few questions and you have a few seconds to find the answer. Let's begin. Which event is generally considered to be the first belligerent act of World War II? Germany's attack on Poland. Which two countries were the first to declare war on Germany? Britain and France.
Which was key to Germany's early success in the war. Quick, coordinated attacks. Against which country did the Soviet Union instigate an armed conflict in late 1939? Finland. What were the first two Western European countries that Germany invaded? Norway and Denmark. What happened at Dunkirk in May 1940? British forces retreated across the English Channel. Where was the French surrender to Germany signed? In a railway car. What was Germany's initial strategy for conquering Britain? First establish air superiority, then send in ground forces. What was the London Blitz? A term used for Germany's bombing campaign on London. Overall, the Battle of Britain is considered to be a victory for Britain. What was Italy's primary role in the war? It distracted Germany from accomplishing its main objectives. What was Hitler's primary justification for invading Russia? Germany needed more space for its population. What was the code name given to Germany's plan to invade the USSR? Operation Barbarossa. On which region of the Soviet Union did Hitler place the highest priority? Ukraine and southern Russia. Which country was the site of most of the Nazi extermination camps? Poland. What Japanese action created tension with the United States? Its seizure of territory in China. What US action created tension with Japan? Its establishment of a trade embargo against Japan. Who was the Japanese admiral behind the Pearl Harbor attack? Yamamoto. Which battle is considered to be the turning point for the war in the Pacific? The Battle of Midway. The Battle of the Coral Sea was a unique naval battle because it was fought entirely with carrier-based aircraft. During the Battle of Midway, Japan lost. Most of its aircraft carriers. The Battle of Stalingrad was one of the deadliest battles in human history. Who met at Casablanca? Roosevelt and Churchill. What was the focus of the Tehran Conference? The Allied invasion of France. Which country instigated the conflict in North Africa? Italy. Why was the Japanese capture of Rangoon such a bitter loss for the Allies? As a major seaport, it was an excellent supply point. What was the significance of Guadalcanal to Japan? The island was in an ideal position for controlling the Solomon Islands. Why did Allied forces invade Italy after it had already surrendered? German forces were still fighting in the country. The Battle of Kursk is best described as a tank battle. After the Battle of Kursk, German forces began a lengthy retreat back to Germany. What was the code name for the Allied invasion of Europe? Operation Overlord. The Allied invasion of Europe was primarily directed at the French coast. What was the location of the second major Allied assault into Europe in 1944? The French Mediterranean coast. Why was the Luftwaffe so ineffective during the last part of the war? Germany was experiencing a severe oil shortage. Where did the Battle of the Bulge take place? The Ardennes Forest. What were the V1 and V2? German missiles. Which Allied country's forces arrived in Berlin first? The USSR. At what conference did the Allies set the terms for the Japanese surrender? The Potsdam Conference. Which year were the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki? The 1945. In which year World War II ended? The 1945. What happened to the Soviet Air Force during the opening days of the German invasion? Up to 2,000 Soviet aircraft were destroyed while still on the ground. Via what route did Russians manage to send some supplies to Leningrad during the German siege of the city? A supply route across Lake Ladoga. How did the Western Allies respond to Germany's invasion of Russia? They sent supplies and intelligence information to the USSR. What was unique about the Doolittle raid? The bombers were launched from an aircraft carrier. Why was the Japanese capture of Rangoon such a bitter loss for the Allies? As a major seaport, it was an excellent supply point. What two countries were already involved in a military conflict before the beginning of the World War II? Japan and China. What was the first Nazi concentration camp? Dachau. What was the longest battle of World War II? Battle of the Atlantic. What was the name of the B-29 bomber that dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima? Enola Gay. What country lost the most lives in World War II? Soviet Union.
What was the longest battle of World War II? Battle of the Atlantic. What country sent reinforcements in the form of Division Azul to aid Germany in its WWII attack on the Soviet Union? Spain? What research and development project produced the first nuclear weapons during World War II? Manhattan Project. What was the code name for the Battle of Normandy? Operation Overlord. What was the largest battleship of World War II? Yamato. What was the first action the Nazis took against Jews? boycott of Jewish businesses? Which battle involved the largest engagement of tanks in history? Battle of Kursk. After World War II, Germany was divided into how many zones of occupation? 4. What was the last major battle of World War II? Battle of Okinawa. What was the second city the United States dropped a nuclear bomb on? Nagasaki. On which beach did the Americans run into a firestorm of resistance during the D-Day landings? Omaha. What was the Nazi code name for a planned invasion of the United Kingdom during World War II? Operation Sea Lion. What English codebreaker created a machine that helped to decrypt Nazi? Alan Turing. Where was the first atom bomb tested?
New Mexico.